Hi, I'm Ruby. I own a small marketing agency in downtown Seattle, and life was pretty normal until that call came in during a client meeting. My phone kept buzzing, and when I finally checked, there were 3 missed calls from Harborview Hospital. Miss Mitchell, this is about your nephew Tommy. My heart stopped. What happened to Tommy? He's physically fine, but we need you to come in immediately. It's a sensitive situation. I remembered the day Tommy was diagnosed with autism. My sister Sarah had called me crying, saying she couldn't handle it. He's not like other kids, Ruby. I don't know what to do. I spent countless nights helping her research therapies, doctors, everything. But lately, she'd been distant, making excuses about why I couldn't visit Tommy. Walking into the hospital, I found a kind-faced woman waiting for me. I'm Dr. Elena Rodriguez, hospital social worker. Please sit down. Where's Sarah? That's why we called you. Sarah brought Tommy in for a routine checkup this morning. She told the nurse she needed to get something from her car, and never came back. We found a note in Tommy's backpack. My hands shook as I read it. I can't do this anymore. Ruby will know what to do. She just left him? Like he's some package to be dropped off? We've alerted the authorities. Child abandonment is a serious offense. Right now, we need to discuss temporary custody arrangements. Has anyone contacted her? Her phone is disconnected. We need someone to take responsibility for Tommy while this gets sorted out. Just then, Tommy walked in with a nurse. His dark curls were messy, and he was wearing his favorite dinosaur shirt, the one I got him for his birthday. Hey, buddy, I said softly. He didn't look up, but his hands started doing his excited flapping. He remembered me. Tommy needs a familiar environment, Dr. Rodriguez explained. The system can be overwhelming for any child, but especially one with his needs. What are my options? You can petition for temporary custody. Given the circumstances and your relationship, it should be granted quickly. My phone buzzed. A text from my best friend Marcus. Where are you? Clients are waiting. I'll need to make some calls, arrange things at work. Of course, but we need a decision soon. I watched Tommy lining up some toys on the windowsill, making sure they were perfectly straight. 3 years ago, I helped Sarah pick out his first therapy toys. Now she'd abandoned him with nothing but a note. I'll do it. Whatever paperwork you need, he's not going into the system. You understand this is a big responsibility? Tommy requires specialized care. He's family. That's all I need to know. As I signed the temporary custody papers, Dr. Rodriguez handed me a card. This is Detective Walsh's contact information. He'll want to speak with you about filing charges. My sister had walked away from her own son, left him like an unwanted package at a hospital. As I helped Tommy pack his few belongings, I made 2 promises: to give him the home he deserved, and to make sure Sarah faced every consequence of her actions. 3 weeks after getting Tommy settled in, I was scrolling through Instagram when my coffee nearly fell from my hand. There was Sarah, glowing in a designer maternity dress, standing next to a man in front of a mansion. Celebrating 4 months with baby #1. So blessed to start our family with my amazing husband, James. #Brooks family #baby Brooks. You've got to be kidding me. I called Marcus immediately. Get over here, now. 20 minutes later, Marcus was staring at my laptop screen. Well, looks like Big Sis has been busy. James Brooks? Isn't his family behind those luxury hotels downtown? She abandoned her autistic son to play trophy wife to a hotel heir? Look at these photos. Charity galas, country club memberships. And none of them know about Tommy? This post says baby #1. She's literally erasing him. Tommy came into the room, carrying his tablet. He'd made amazing progress with his communication app. Park today? The automated voice spoke for him. After lunch, buddy. Promise. Marcus started taking notes. The hospital records, the abandonment note, the disconnected numbers, it's all evidence. And look here. She registered their wedding 6 months ago. Which means she was already planning this when she dumped Tommy. My doorbell rang. Speaking of the devil, Sarah stood there in a designer outfit that probably cost more than my monthly rent. We need to talk. Now you want to talk? After 3 weeks? She pushed past me into the house. Look, I can make this worth your while. James doesn't need to know about before. I can set up a trust fund for Tommy, send monthly payments. You think you can buy your way out of abandoning your child? Don't be dramatic. He's better off with you anyway. You're good with his type. Tommy appeared in the doorway, freezing when he saw her. Hi, sweetie, she said with fake sweetness. Mommy's just talking to Aunt Ruby. Tommy backed away, his hands covering his ears. He's not a type, Sarah. He's your son. And if you ruin this for me, I'll make sure you never see him again. I have resources now. Good lawyers. Better call them. Detective Walsh would love their contact info. Her face went pale. You wouldn't dare. Try me. Oh, and Sarah? Your mother-in-law Diana left me a voicemail. Seems she has questions about your first marriage that came up in background checks. You had no right. I had every right. Now get out of my house before I call the police. And Sarah, those monthly payments you mentioned? They're called child support. The court will decide the amount. After she stormed out, I found Tommy in his sensory corner, clutching his favorite weighted blanket. It's okay, buddy. You're safe here. He tapped his tablet. Park now? Yeah, let's go to the park. But first, Marcus is going to help us with some important papers. We'll need statements from the hospital staff, Marcus said, already typing. And I've got a friend at the DA's office. Good. Because Big Sister's perfect new life? It's about to get a reality check. The invitation to Sarah's baby shower sat on my counter for a week. Fancy gold lettering, hosted by Diana Brooks at their country club. Meanwhile, Tommy's special education teacher had just sent me a video of him reading his first complete sentence. Have you seen the latest payment attempt? Marcus handed me a check. 100 grand, blank recipient line. Third one this month. She's getting desperate. My phone rang. It was Diana Brooks. Ruby, dear, I wonder if we could meet for coffee. There are some inconsistencies in Sarah's background check I'd like to discuss. At the coffee shop, Diana pulled out a folder. Our family foundation does extensive vetting. Sarah claimed she'd never been married, yet there's a marriage license. And hospital records. Mrs. Brooks, there's something you should know. Please, call me Diana. And I already know about Tommy. I hired a private investigator after Sarah had unusual reactions to questions about her past. Just then, my phone buzzed with a text from James. Found box of old photos in storage. Who's the little boy with Sarah? Call me. That would be her son, I told Diana. The one she abandoned at a hospital to marry your son. I suspected something this heinous. James is devastated. He's been going through their apartment all morning. Does Sarah know? Not yet. She's at her final dress fitting for the shower. Ruby, I have a proposition. 2 days later, I walked into the country club's ballroom. Sarah was glowing in a pale pink dress, surrounded by Seattle's elite. Tommy's latest progress report was in my purse, right next to the USB drive with all the evidence. You actually came, Sarah hissed, grabbing my arm. I told you to stay away. Funny, that's what you told Tommy too, right before you left him at Harborview. If you ruin this... Too late, sis. Look behind you. James stood there, holding their wedding photo, and a picture of Tommy's 5th birthday. Sarah went pale. Everyone, may I have your attention? Diana clinked her glass. Today isn't just about celebrating new life. It's about honoring all children. Which is why the Brooks Family Foundation is launching a new initiative for special needs children, inspired by my grandson, Tommy. The room went silent. Sarah swayed on her feet. My grandson, Diana continued, who was abandoned at a hospital 3 months ago by his mother, my daughter-in-law, Sarah. Gasps filled the room. Sarah lunged for the microphone, but James stepped forward. The police have been notified. The DA is pressing charges. It's over, Sarah. You don't understand, she pleaded. He was too difficult. I couldn't handle. No, I cut in. You couldn't handle not being perfect. But Tommy? He's perfect exactly as he is. And now everyone knows exactly who you are. As security escorted her out, Diana approached me. The foundation position we discussed. It's yours if you want it. We'll need someone to oversee our new autism support programs. Later that night, Tommy showed me his latest drawing, a family portrait. He'd drawn himself, me, and surprisingly, Diana and James. Family, his tablet spoke. Yeah, buddy, but a real one this time. The courthouse was packed for Sarah's arraignment. Marcus sat beside me, reviewing the paperwork for Tommy's permanent custody hearing next week. Did you see this? James filed for annulment, not divorce. Says the whole marriage was based on fraud. Miss Mitchell? A court clerk approached. The DA wants to discuss a potential plea deal. No deals, I said firmly. She needs to face a judge. Tommy was at his new school, probably working on the presentation he was so excited about. The special education program Diana had helped us find was amazing. They actually understood him. All rise. Sarah walked in wearing an orange jumpsuit instead of her designer clothes. She looked small, nothing like the woman who'd threatened me with expensive lawyers. Multiple charges of child abandonment and endangerment, the judge read. How do you plead? My client pleads not guilty by reason of... Stop. Sarah stood up. I did it. I left him. I just wanted a normal life. The judge peered over his glasses. A normal life? By abandoning a special needs child at a hospital? I have letters from the hospital staff, the DA announced, documenting how the defendant deliberately planned this abandonment, including faking a routine checkup to avoid suspicion. After the hearing, Diana waited outside with James. 6 months in jail plus probation. Seems light. The criminal charges were just the beginning. James showed me some papers. The annulment's final. She gets nothing from the prenup. And the foundation's first center opens next month, Diana added. We're naming it after Tommy. My phone buzzed. A video from Tommy's teacher. He was standing in front of his class using his tablet to give a presentation about marine biology. His latest obsession. Remember when she said he'd never fit in? Marcus watched over my shoulder. Look at him now. Back at home, Tommy was bursting with excitement about his presentation. His tablet couldn't keep up with all the things he wanted to tell me. Whales! Ocean! Friends clapped! That's awesome, buddy. Should we tell Grandma Diana about it at dinner? He nodded enthusiastically. The grandma title had been his idea, tapped out on his tablet last week. Diana had cried happy tears. The foundation interview panel is reviewing candidates for the special education program, Diana mentioned over dinner. James thinks we should expand to multiple locations. 20 kids already on the waiting list, James added. Turns out there are a lot of families looking for real support, not just a quick fix. Tommy showed them his presentation photos, beaming at their attention. My phone buzzed. A text from a blocked number. I'm sorry. I know it's too late. I deleted Sarah's message without responding. She was right. It was too late. But watching Tommy excitedly explain whale migration patterns to his new family, I realized something. Her biggest punishment wasn't the jail time or lost social status. It was missing out on the amazing person her son was becoming. More pizza? Tommy typed on his tablet. Sure, buddy. Sky's the limit. And it really was. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about rising above and building something better than you ever had before. What would you do if you discovered your sibling erased their special needs child to create a perfect new life? Would you expose them immediately or gather evidence first like Ruby did? Some say Ruby should have exposed Sarah right away to protect Tommy, while others think her careful planning brought better justice. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's the right move when someone abandons their most vulnerable family member? P.S. If this story of justice and family bonds touched you, hit that like button and subscribe for more compelling human stories that make us think. New stories drop every week.